Welcome to Country Kickback, where you'll hear the latest music from performers you already know and discover new music and artists from around the world. If you have an artist you'd like us to chat with, reach out to the team at countrykickback.com, or you can watch our live videos and more by following us on social media and YouTube. Here is your host, Danni Shaw, with the latest from Country Kickback.
Hello. One last show of the week. I promise I'll give you guys the weekend off. We've had a great week of shows this week. Thank you so much to everyone that's hung in there and kept coming back at all sorts of time, watching the replays on the website and that sort of thing as well. So however it's easiest for you to enter, you enter there and you can enter as many times you like. So if you're on multiple platforms, enter on all of them. Gives you more chance. Okay. We're having trouble streaming to Facebook. I wonder why. Let me know if you're on Facebook and you can see it. And if not, yeah, I guess you won't comment. But yeah, something's going on. So hopefully we can fix it. And at least if we can't, we will post the YouTube clip on there for you afterwards. We might welcome Darren into the room. Hello.
Hello, Danni. How are you?
I'm good. I think our Facebook has decided to crash, but that's all right because it's recording on YouTube and it's live on YouTube, so we can post the link afterwards. And let's see, I might just try editing it and see if I can see what's going on. We'll save it and see. No, I think we've lost Facebook, but yeah, we've lost Facebook. It's just doing its thing. How are you? It's been an exciting year for you, releasing music after a couple of years off.
Yeah, it's so far, yeah, working on the album, which has been my first full album in probably 7-8 years, I think. And yeah, just to be able to finally put the time back into doing it properly has been fantastic. And working with a great producer is, yeah, I'm digging music again. It's fantastic, Danni.
You found your love for it again, because it is hard. Sometimes you do have times where, you forget, why am I doing this? Because you're tired, and it's a hard industry. It wears you out very easily.
And I've had a few other things. Like I sort of had to ease off a little. I didn't totally disappear, but I had to ease off a bit while I raised a couple of boys, or my 3 boys. Now that they're a bit older, but then in that time I got involved in a soccer club, and as I was about to step away from it and recommit to music, I got some refugee boys from the Congo who, came here with nothing and some pretty tough life circumstances, and got them involved in soccer and, giving them a home in Australia where they feel that they belong. And it's taken, I just wanted to commit to them and get them to a point where I could they were comfortable, and I hand them over, and I don't need to be quite so hands-on for them. This is the last year of that, so it's sort of overlapping with the album, but it's been a bit of a labor of love too, but it's definitely music.
It's and it's probably even given you more material, different aspects and different things to write about as well.
Oh, and time to write some good songs.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Now, we haven't had you on the show before, so can you go back a little bit to starting music and why you love music in the first place, and what made you go down performing and singing?
Oh, I'm going to quote a line from my favourite movie for a start. If you've ever seen a movie called Almost Famous, and the guy who's the journo interviewing the musician at the end of it says, "What do you love about being in a band?" And he says, "Well, firstly, everything." It is literally that. From the time I was 8 or 9, I knew I wanted to be a musician. It wasn't a musical family, but I just knew that I wanted music, and I've never really lost that need to be playing music at some part, in my life. And as it's gone on, it's not only the love of music, it's the love of people in it, people like yourself, like all the people that are the industry people. Coupled with the fans, the people that you play to that enjoy your music, right down to, particularly in country music, the other musicians it's very much a family feel. And once it's in you, it's very hard to let that go. It's such a beautiful thing to be part of that. And yeah, I hope that answers your question.
It does.
Yeah.
100%. I agree. It's that family feel, that feeling that I don't think you could get doing anything else.
No.
Australian, especially Australian country music, but Australian music in general, we're all everyone knows everybody, and you can always turn to somebody for advice or support. And if you say, hey, are you free to do a gig? They jump in. It's not well, I'll cost this much. It's let's do it. Let's figure it out as we go. It's no,
Australian music is pretty much the country town of world music, isn't it? Like
yes.
I've lived in cities, but country towns, people say, oh, everyone knows your business in a country town. Yes, but they all know when you're struggling, and there's no one short. You're never short to lean on, or give you a tap on the back, whatever. That's pretty much what Australian music and the Australian country music scene is. 100%. So how could you not love it?
Exactly right. How could you not love it? And I know you're the same as me. We're not going to make Tamworth next week, but I bet you're like me, sitting here going, oh my gosh, I want to be there. I want to be doing that. I want to see this person. I want to see that person. And
I've just come out of the studio the last couple of days, and my producer was flying up to Blues Fest today and then straight to Tamworth. So, about it, he let me know that I was missing out.
Yeah. And honestly, like, you get to the end of Tamworth and you're so tired, you're just absolutely exhausted. And often that's when the awards night is usually that last night of Tamworth, and you go to the awards and then you go to the after party and you just want to go to bed. You're so tired, it all hits you.
Same time, you don't want it to end. You come home.
Exactly. Tamworth Blues. The Tamworth Blues. Definitely. No, it's true. I'll be watching everything that gets posted. So if anyone's out there going to Tamworth, send us through your videos and your messages and your photos. Yeah, we got to live it through you. So brings us back to your first single, Hello Riverina. I love this song. I love the feeling behind it, and I've read your press release, and I love the reasonings behind this song. So tell us about writing it and why you've chosen this one, given that you've got a lot of your music for the album already done. Why this one for your first single?
I just seemed to be just spoke of who I am right now, and where I'm at. We go through stages in our life where we're not at home. And I've lived away a lot, and right now I just feel comfortable about where I am in life and what's around me, and Riverina is home for me, and so it's all about that, just feeling at home. For everyone, it's not the Riverina, but I'm sure most people have got a place they call home, whether it's where they live or not. Yeah. There's always that place that in us is where we feel most connected, and for me, it's the Riverina. Yeah.
Well, it's beautiful. And the idea behind it, you're right. It doesn't have to be the Riverina that they're singing or thinking about. When you listen to this song, it is reminding you of what makes me feel at home. What part am I missing right now if I'm not there? Or why am I glad I'm here right now? It's a great thing to stop and think about, because we sometimes take it a bit for granted.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Until you're not there for long periods.
That's right. And a lot of us are feeling that at the moment, because we've just had 2 years where we can't go home, or, can't go back to where our family are and our friends. So it's a great song, and it's a great song to release now when things are opening back up and we're starting to get that feeling of being able to go back home.
How good's that, to be able to get around this country again?
It's wonderful. So good. We're definitely on the climb now. We're heading back out of this, and eventually we'll be able to tell everybody that, when we lived through the pandemic, we had to do all this stuff, and it's hopefully taught us all to appreciate things a lot more.
I know. I'm loving getting out and playing this thing again. It's fantastic.
Now, I was saying to you before, you work in schools as a teacher's aide on your day job. Do you get to take your music to school sometimes? What do the kids at school think of you and your releasing music and that sort of thing?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, the kids don't pay a lot of attention to it. Some do. Some treat me, when they find out, they quietly treat me like I'm some superstar, and others think you're a bit daggy and all that sort of thing. But some of the best moments I've had at school are, like, there was a boy when I first came to the school 5 years ago. There was a boy there who was largely non-verbal, because being a teacher's aide, you work mainly with people that, suffering with learning difficulties. And there was a boy here, he had pretty high, he was on the spectrum, the autism spectrum, was quite non-verbal nobody had ever heard him say his own words, put it that way. He'd quote a movie line here and there to try and express himself. Other than that, you'd just get yes, no answers. But I knew he was a Garth Brooks.
That he was trying. It's wonderful that he was trying to express.
Well, yeah, but he really felt no need to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And I was playing a Garth Brooks song one day, and his eyes lit up, and he started singing along. And so I started working with him on this Garth. We were doing Thunder Rolls, and we did it at a school assembly where I just sang the first verse and then let him sing the rest. I started him off, and then he sang the rest. The school was like the jaws hit. You could hear the jaws hitting the floor of the hall, you know, and that was probably one of my most magic moments at school, you know, and people coming up to me and going, what you did for our Aaron, you know, and, or I said his name. But like there was kids that came to, because he graduated last year, and the year 12s actually went and approached the principal and asked, could he perform that with me for their graduation? So
beautiful.
It was very, very special for that boy, and to feel accepted, because in a lot of ways he didn't fit. So yeah, things like that have been pretty magical.
Yeah, that is so cool. That is really beautiful. I have a background. Before I was nursing, I worked in disability for a long time, and then after I graduated, I still did some. And those stories are what stay with you forever, because they're still a lot of my most memorable moments of my career. And it is, you can't buy those. There's nothing, no way really fully explaining how much of a difference you can make.
Up until that time, you know, the most magical moment of my music life was a little girl called Grace, who not so little anymore, but I used to sing for a mob called Country Hope that were a group cancer support, a bit like Camp Quality. So they supported kids up to the age of about 12. And our local fishing club, when I lived in Tokemwall, used to sponsor them to come down to town once a year, and they'd take them out on rides in the boats and Harley rides and stuff like that. And on the Saturday night, I'd sit around a campfire with all these kids and sing to them. And their parents would be at this particular camp as well. It's the one camp that the parents also got to come to. And this little girl, Grace, you know, she didn't have cancer. She'd been stricken with meningococcal and was an amputee at both elbows and both knees, you know, and very, very special little kid. And I'm singing songs, and this little Grace says to me, Dad, can you play me an Elvis tune? And I said, oh, darling, I'll play whatever the heck you want. And I played I Can't Help Falling in Love with You.
Yeah.
And thinking that a couple of people might sing along. And what happened was that everyone, even all the kids, knew the words to it. And they all sang this song to Grace. And there was a moment there where we collectively sort of shook, you know. And that's the magic moment of my music life. That and getting up to school assembly with this boy and doing Thunder Rolls, you know, you just...
Nothing
when you
will
ask
beat it.
about music, I love the fans. I love writing music. But the two, you know, those sort of moments.
You love the magic of of music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great story. It's so lovely to hear those sorts of stories. Now, I know you've gone to a lot of trouble to go and get a guitar and get ready to play a song for us. Are you still happy to do one?
Sure. I might be a bit croaky. I've had a couple of big days in the studio, and I didn't warm up because I didn't know I'd be singing. So
no, you didn't have to.
No.
Look, I will give you the room. I'll let you do your thing, and I will come back when you're finished.
Okay. So this song is the song we've just been talking about my love of place, but hopefully it connects with everyone's love of place. For me, it's a place called the Riverina. Here we go. It's called Hello Riverina. Hello, Riverina. It's a long time since I've seen you, with your hills of gold canola glowing in the sun, where the Murrumbidgee's playing, through the river gum trees swaying, on a breeze that's come to tell us a new season has begun. Ooh, your song is in my bones. Ooh, hello, I've come home. The roads that lie before me take me to 1,000 stories, some remembered, some forgotten, some yet to be made. Kick my boots off by the Murray, old man's never in a hurry. Tip a can and ponder life by a willow in the shade. Ooh, your song is in my bones. Ooh, hello, Riverina, I've come home. Restless dreams, they keep my wheels rolling, but back they'll turn. You know they always do to you. Hello, Riverina. It's a long time since I've seen you, with your heels of gold canola glowing in the sun. I can feel you like a mother, a sister and a brother. May my ashes fall upon you when my dreaming days are done. Ooh, your song is in my bones. Ooh, hello, Riverina, I've come home. I've come home. Hello, Riverina, I've come home. Oh, yeah. Hello, Riverina.
What a beautiful song. It's such a lovely song.
Thank you.
Have you had a chance to play it to many people yet? Is it something that you've kept under your belt until it was released?
Pretty much, play close friends and family and things like that. But as far as audiences, I really sort of started playing it about Australia Day, not before that. And I did some shows up around Gingelic, right on the Murray River, on the sort of the eastern edge of the Riverina, and it's a fantastic setting, to be standing there in a beer garden playing an original show and looking down over the Murray River. It was, how could I not play it? So
right.
so I've been playing it since then. It seems to be well received, so I guess I'll keep playing it.
Why not? It's so beautiful. I don't think it's one that you should ever take out of your set.
Thank you.
That's one. Now, you were saying it's been a few years since you've released music. How?
Yep.
And when you get out and about to play now, do you still add songs in from your other releases? And are you going to continue now that you've got a new album of work? You're going to continue playing some of your...
Yeah.
Because I like some of your own songs. I was listening to them today.
Yeah. The plan is to get out and tour like later this year. It will kick in that I'll start doing a lot more festivals and touring and stuff like that. And of course, how could I not be in love with some of the...
Exactly, yes.
They're my children, these songs. So whether I'm in love with them at the time or not, they're always a part of me, and I play them. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you were saying you stopped for a little while to raise your sons. Are they musical as well? Have you given them this
No, not at all. Not at all. They couldn't be further from musicians. They're three tradies, and they love their football and things like that. They've come to festivals with me and things like that. They love the environment, but one's got a guitar that he never plays. The other one wanted to be a fiddle player and never ever got a fiddle. And it was
course.
these days. Yeah, no, couldn't be further from wanting to be musicians.
You never know. As they get older, they might come back around.
Who knows?
Hopefully. Now, you were saying you're getting back on the road. Have you got? Well, obviously you haven't got the album yet, but are you taking orders for hard copies? What are you planning on doing for albums and merchandise, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so I'll be looking at that soon. Probably looking to do pre-orders for the album, probably in the form of like a crowdfunding program, maybe.
Yes.
Just so that, that I haven't really. I'm not the most organised fella in the world, Danny. And it only crossed my mind just the last few days that once the single hits, why haven't I set up a pre-order thing for albums? So I've got to look at what's that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much to think about.
Yeah, a lot for this brain. You know, I'm a creative brain. I'm not a very organised one, but
you need someone to go, yep, you got to do this.
Absolutely.
Now, you're hoping to head out in festivals. Is there anywhere around the country festival or place that you haven't got to play yet that you are aiming to head to, hopefully soon?
Oh, look, there's a lot. I mean, I've done quite a few festivals in the past that I'd love to redo. I mean, my favourite festival in the whole world is the Gympie Muster.
Yes.
And, you know, I'm really itching to get back and do that. I used to do that with all the bush poets. So my sort of music works really well as a complement to the bush poetry. So quite often they'll do a poet's breakfast, and instead of a break in the middle of it, out comes me to sing a few songs, and that's what got me into Gympie in the first place. And I'm pretty much hanging out to do that again. But Tamworth, all those. But I haven't done Boyett Brook over in over West Australia.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot that I haven't done, that, and a lot of festivals that have sprung up since I've sort of taken a step back. So, you know, the joy for me will be discovering what all these new festivals are and jumping in. I'd love to get down to Tasmania again. I did a tour there maybe 10 years ago with a fella called Peter Pratt. And we had some fun at where did we play now? What's the big logging area? Hewittville.
Oh, you went to Hewittville. You went down to Longley.
Longley.
Yep. Were you guys at the Oak? I think
we did about 3. It's a while. But I just fell in love with Tassie and the lands. You know, like driving around Tassie between shows, it was just fantastic. And I've always wanted to get there, but it's just hasn't happened. You know, things have got in the way. But
Tassie, music-wise, has grown quite a lot lately. And we were so lucky in COVID because although we probably didn't have as much as all the time, we had a lot of music still. Because I was sitting there and I was thinking, how many shows did I go to last year? And I was counting them all. I'm like, oh, actually, I haven't missed that much music. I've been to quite a bit.
Yeah, so, probably more did.
Yeah, exactly. And I think well, we did close down, but because we shut our borders, we were able to still have some musicians come. We were still able to have events, certainly, definitely lesser capacity and that sort of thing. And we're all being careful, but we were really lucky, and it was great for our state because people are starting to really discover Australian music and love it and support it. So now's the time to jump on the Tassie music van because it's definitely grown.
Bandwagon, yep,
definitely.
I'm pretty keen.
Well, talking of jumping on the bandwagon, when you go, there's a really great festival in the middle of winter, so it's very cold, down at Hewittville, and it's at the Apple Shed. It's Willie Smith's cider. It's their winter festival. And every time I've been there, you park in the paddock quite a long way away and you jump on the back of the wagon that's being towed by the tractor to get across to the festival. And that's how we all arrive.
Well, that actually, you've just reminded me of what the third show was that we did in Tassie. And if you want to tell me about cold, you know, playing at a cricket club that's on an island off the southern tip of the southern what's that island? Bruny Island.
Bruni, yep.
Bruni, yes.
Yeah,
So
Bruni
we played an outdoor show on the balcony of the Bruni
Oh.
Island Cricket Club in the middle of June.
How did you go with your fingers playing
Oh,
guitar?
it was cold. It was great. They were wonderful people. My goodness, cold.
It's very cold. You couldn't go to a more cold. Oh, it was that would have been awful.
Yeah,
But lovely at the same time.
Part of the southernmost point of Australia. There you go.
Well, I'm in the northern end of the state, so it's much nicer up here, and we have better beer. So,
yes.
Yeah, much better beer up here, but it's definitely a little bit warm.
So you're
actually, yes, so I'm in Avondale, so 3 minutes from the Launceston Airport. Literally from my door to the airport door, it's 3 minutes.
We didn't get to play. We were really bummed that we didn't sort of organise anything in the northern part.
Definitely.
But always
it's time,
isn't it?
It is definitely time. We can definitely get you down here, and you'll love it, I'm sure. Well, when you've got more plans to release more music, have you got some rough time frames for your next single for people to keep an eye out?
So the next single, what are we in now? April. I think the next one's. I think the next one's due in June.
June, okay, yeah.
And then a third one in August, and the last one in October.
Yep, and then the album, hopefully.
Hopefully the album will drop in October with a song that is
the last single.
Yeah. So the title track is called Ruckers Hill. And the plan is to release Ruckers Hill, the single, at the same time as the album. So that'll be October.
Perfect. I cannot wait. So is it all completed now? You're all ready to roll?
No. So I've got most of the 4 singles are all recorded. And about 3 other songs. So we've got about 3 more songs to go before the album's complete. Yeah. Okay. So I was in the studio the last couple of days here with Damien Caffarella, and amazing man he is. He's the producer king at the moment, and working with him, you can see why. It's just amazing talent he is.
He makes magic, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. And he certainly brings out the sweet spot in me with music. So he seems to get me. And I think that's an important thing with a producer.
It is. I think that's 3/4 of the way. Once they understand you, what you want out of your music, and you find a way to connect it so that you can work from each other, you got to stay there. That's your spot. You can't change that. That works.
And Damien's not one of these producers that it's my way or the highway. He works with the artists and tries to get himself on the artist level and understand where the artist's coming from, and I think you come up with a better product that way.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. I cannot wait to hear it. Thank you so much for your time tonight. But before we go, Facebook, social media, whereabouts can we find you?
So I have Darren Colston on Facebook. There's also Darren Colston Music, which is my official music page where you can like and get news and things like that. I'm pretty slack at sharing things on that one. I've also rebuilt my website, which is just www.darrencolston.com. And if anyone goes to that, they can scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, and there's a link at the bottom to join the mailing list. And that way, because I feel like sometimes, I know I get so many, when you're friends with so many people on Facebook, so you miss all their messages. In the scroll, but if you're getting it as an email from someone's mail out list, you don't miss it. So to anyone wanting to catch up and keep up with the news, the website's the go.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you for braving us and coming on tonight. It was so great to be able to have you.
I will say, if you go to my web page or my Facebook page, there is a link that you can click on that'll take you to the digital, whether you want to buy the single or put it on your streaming service or whatever. It takes you to the major streaming services and hook into the single that way.
While you're there, let's put a comment on with the website. So it's www. I'm a bit slow today. So is it just all lowercase?
Yes, all. Yep.
.com or .au.com?
Just .com. Yep.
No space in the words or anything?
No. Did we get a lot of people put a U in Colston, but it's just COLSTO.
Nope, I didn't. That's good. Yep, all there. All there. So when we're finished here, and don't forget also, if you are on Spotify, I've also put Darren's link to Spotify at the top of the page. So you can actually click on that link and it should take you to his actual artist page, and you can press follow and make sure you press the love heart next to the song so that it knows that you're liking them, and add it to your playlists. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been really great to meet you.
Danny?
I'm really looking forward to seeing you out on the road and all your music that's coming. It's lovely to see somebody that's.
I look forward to getting down. So, that little thing you were talking about off air.
Definitely.
That little project too. It's going to be a wonderful time.
It's going to be great fun. We're going to do it. Well, thank you, everybody. We will be back next week. Now, I am trying to not overflow your week with too many shows next week because I know a lot of you are in Tamworth or wanting to watch all the Tamworth live. So I will have a couple of shows, not as many as this week, but keep your eye out. If you can't watch them when we're live because you're watching shows, I understand. Just have a look when you can and let me know what's happening in Tamworth. Don't make me miss out. Thank you so much again, Darren. We will have you back very soon, I hope.
Yeah, well, I hope too. Yeah, thanks, Dan. Thanks to your listeners.
Thank you, everybody. See you later. Happy Easter too, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy Easter. We'll see you later.
Thank you for listening. We hope you've enjoyed today's program. See you next time with the latest with Country Kickback.